myself Sagar Choksi from LJ Institutes of Engineering and Technology. So, in last session, we have started a new concept, that is different types of material that is used in car body, right? So, in today's session, we are going to discuss about a new topic that related to loads that acting on vehicle body, right? So, in today's session, we will discuss two topics. First and important one, that is different types of load that acting on vehicle body or car body, and second one, that is forces that affecting car body. So let's start the lecture number 10, that related to loads that acting on car body. The first and important one, that is static loading case. So here I have attached one table so that you can directly understand different load that acting on car body, right? So first one, that is vertical symmetric load, second one, that is vertical asymmetric load, third one, that is longitudinal load, and last one, that is side load, right? So let's start static loading case. So move forward to next slide. First of all, vertical symmetrical load. So we all know that in car there are two types of axle, or you can take two different axle, front axle and rear axle, right? And each of them has two wheel, right side and left side. So here I have attached one image that related to bump image, right? So now what happened in vertical symmetrical load? First of all, what is vertical symmetrical load? So it is the combination of two words. First word, that is vertical, and second word, that is symmetrical. So now we take vertical. So what is vertical, right? So in image you can see the bump, right? If you drive your car and if you face this particular bump, if you are facing this particular bump, then what will happen, right? So your car is slightly move upward direction. If this particular bump are there, then your car slightly move upward direction, right? So pick the word upward, right? So what is upward? Upward is equal to vertical. So vertical force are there, or vertical load are there, right? So now what is symmetric load? Okay, so if your car reach at the center point, right? So both axle, either you can take front axle or you can take rear axle. Both axle are facing equal load, right? This is very important. Both axle are facing equal load. So this is called symmetric load, right? So vertical is equal to upward and both axle face equal load. This is called symmetrical load. So now what will happen? Speed bumper are one kind of road obstacle which are designed to make a driver reduce the speed in certain area, right? It is very important. What is vertical symmetrical load, right? So bump are thought to be encountered by the two wheel of each axle simultaneously, right? That is known as vertical symmetrical load, right? So now we can talk about the situation. So this situation cause result in bending moment which is applied to the structure of a car. So this is what vertical symmetrical load. So here I have attached one equation that is very important. P is equal to mzs sigma c minus sigma n, where sigma c is equal to total weight of the car and sigma m that is equal to weight of unspring mass, and mzs that is coefficient, right? So this is what vertical symmetrical load. Second one, that is vertical asymmetric load. So in vertical symmetric load, the front and rear axle are facing equal load. So in this particular vertical asymmetric load, the front and rear axle are not facing equal load. That is called vertical asymmetric load. So what happened if we will take vertical asymmetric load, right? So the first and important one, that is it is occur when driving over uneven surfaces, not bump, right? It is occur when driving uneven surfaces, right? There is some friction at front axle. This type of vertical symmetrical load will be generated. Second one, an important one, that is different car will encounter obstruction at different times. So vertical asymmetric load, that is different from vertical symmetric load, right? Second and important one, that is the equation. P is equal to mzs in bracket sigma c minus sigma n, where sigma c is equal to total weight of the car and sigma n that is equal to weight of unspring mass, and mzs is very important. asymmetrical inertial force coefficient. So in vertical asymmetric load, as I have attached one image, that magnitude of force that depend on speed of the vehicle. First one that is speed of the vehicle, second one that is suspension stiffness, third one that is wheel mass, and fourth one that is body mass. Move forward to third one. So third one that is longitudinal load. So first of all, how it work, right? What is longitudinal load, right? So longitudinal load is occur when there is some acceleration or there is some braking, right? So here the longitudinal tire forces push the vehicle forward direction or backward direction. This is very important. Second one that is the weight of the vehicle act through its center of gravity. Third one that is they are created. Third one and important one that is they are created by braking or accelerating the vehicle or by driving it over a bump in the surface of the road. So this is what longitudinal load. Fourth one that is maximum value of positive acceleration occur during sudden engagement of clutch or release of brake. Right. So this is what longitudinal load. Longitudinal load is always occur when there is some acceleration. If you drive your car, then there is some acceleration and your car moves forward direction. Fifth one that is the longitudinal load equation. So here I have attached one equation, Px is equal to plus or minus mx in bracket sigma c minus sigma n. Here I have attached the sign plus or minus. Plus sign indicate forward direction or you can take acceleration, and minus sign indicate braking force or it indicate backward direction. So this is what longitudinal load. Okay, mx that is the dimensionless coefficient and the value of mx that is equal to 0.721. Okay, so move forward to next slide. So fourth one that is side load. So first of all, what is side load? If you turn your vehicle, then this type of load will be generated. First one that is it arises from driving on cow track or through sideway collision with obstruction, and second one that is an important one that is the side load arising from cornering are limited from in extreme case by the maximum side force that can be generated by outer tire. So this is what side load. Side load are generated when you turn your vehicle or it arises from driving on cow track, right? So this is what side load. So move forward to next slide. So next topic that is different forces that acting on vehicle body. So there are many forces that acting on vehicle body. Here I have attached there are 6 forces that acting on vehicle body. First one that is normal force or you can take support force. Second one that is gravitational or weight force. Third one that is driving force or you can take thrust force. Fourth one that is friction force or braking force. Fifth one that is air resistance, right? Force that developed by the air, that is called air resistance, and last one that is lateral force. So let's talk on that. Move forward to next slide. I have attached one image that directly related to different types of forces that acting on vehicle body. So here in image you can find out 4 main forces. First one that is support force, second one that is weight force, third one that is friction force, and fourth one that is thrust force. So now we can talk about what is support force. So as per the gravitational rule, there are mainly 2 forces acting on vehicle body. First one that is support force or normal force, and second one that is weight force. So what is support force? So it is that type of force which provided by the surface to some, right? Or you can take pushing upward, right? Second one that is weight force. So what is weight force? So as per the gravitational rule, it is a force of gravity that pulling it down. So it is the equal and opposite direction. Third one that is thrust force, right? If you drive your car in forward direction, so that is called driving force, or you can take thrust force. And last one that is friction force. So now what is friction force? So here I have attached one main definition that directly related to friction force. As the car moves forward direction, it will have some resistance. It will have some resistance, some energy force which is in opposite direction. So this is called friction force, right? So these are the main 4 different types of force that acting on vehicle body. So as you can see, in vertical direction you can find out support force. In downward direction you can find out weight force, and in horizontal direction you can find out friction force and thrust force. These are the four main forces that acting on vehicle body. So move forward to next slide. So fifth one, that is air resistance. So now what is air resistance? If you drive your car in forward direction, then there are some resistance that acting on your vehicle body. Okay, it is always an opposite direction if you compare with the driving force, right? So what is air resistance? So air exert an opposite friction force. The greater this air friction, the greater the vehicle's fuel consumption. If more air resistance are there, then you will get the more vehicle's fuel consumption. So sixth one, that is lateral force. So here I have attached main two image that directly related to lateral force. So in first image you can find out in horizontal direction you can find out lateral force, right? And in second image you can find out the axle of your car, right? So what is lateral force? The force perpendicular to this plane and in parallel to the rotational axle is called lateral force. So move forward to next slide. So here forces that acting on vehicle body, here I have attached one image, one final or compiled image that directly related to forces that acting on vehicle body. So as you can see that in vertical axis you can find out there are three axes. You can find out there are three axes. First axis that is vertical axis, second axis that is transverse axis, and third axis that is longitudinal axis. So in vertical axis you will get vertical force, or you can take support force, right? In longitudinal axis you will get thrust force and friction force, right? And in transverse axis, in this particular axis you will get lateral force. So this are the main force that acting on vehicle body. So thank you so much. In this particular session we have completed different types of load that acting on car, or you can take vehicle body. So in next session we will discuss about drag force, right? So thank you so much.